What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the second episode of Pro Sports Talk. Back here following the week of the Super Bowl. So, first topic that we're going to do is we're just going to talk about the Super Bowl and, go back to what we said last week before the game. Today, it's me and Alex back, and then we have our other friend, Alex. The other Alex is joining us. So, any thoughts, guys, on the Super Bowl?
About the Super Bowl, yeah, I mean, definitely not as interesting as we thought it would be.
Yeah.
Last episode we predicted a lot of scoring, and it ended up not being like that. But
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, pretty much all around it was not a great Super Bowl. But I mean, it was definitely special in like a lot of ways. That six Super Bowl ring for
Definitely.
Brady and Belichick. I mean that's a huge milestone, and
Most ever
just
by a
from
player.
the one thing just for to watch, it was a boring game. But if you watched, of course Tony Romo was talking about this the entire time. If you watched the sort of the defensive scheming,
Yeah.
That was interesting to watch. But just to casually watch, it was pretty bad Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Let me introduce myself.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'm Alex Salem. Thank you for having me, Schaefer and Pappy. Pappy, you made some great points there, but I would just have to disagree that this is special. The NFL is in trouble because they sent the wrong team to the Super Bowl. All right? The Rams shouldn't have even been there in the first place. I mean, listen, does it count as a Super Bowl? Absolutely. In the same way that the Super Bowl 2 years ago where Tom Brady deflated the balls counted too. But, I mean, let's be honest. Saints should have been there. It should have been Drew Brees v. Tom Brady. And we all know that Drew Brees doesn't choke under that situation. He does not play like Jared Goff does there. I'm not saying he wins.
You're right.
I'd probably bet on the Patriots.
He puts up more than 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, he puts up more than 3 points.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Because kudos to Brian Flores. Play calling was incredible, but I mean, they beat the team that shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the things that I saw, probably that the Saints wouldn't make mistakes in is, the Rams, two easy, or not easy scoring opportunities, but plays where they could have scored. The one, Brandon Cooks wide open in the end zone. Jared Goff waits about 5 seconds too late to pass it, and McCourty knocks it down. And then the other one, the play right before the interception that pretty much put the game away. Brandon Cooks drops another touchdown. So two touchdowns.
I mean, they failed to capitalize on a lot of opportunities.
I'm happy for Jason McCourty. I mean, he went from 0-16 to the Super Bowl. Happy he got to play with his brother Devin. It was a great play, one that changed the game. Jason McCourty didn't even have that man. He cut right through the coverage. Jason McCourty made a great play. He really saved and secured that Super Bowl for Bill Belichick and the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, that wasn't even his zone. He noticed that a man was wide open. He capitalized on Goff's hesitation, goes back, knocks it down. And if Cooks makes that catch, it's an entirely different game. So, probably the biggest play of the game, in my opinion.
I mean,
was that play right
how
there.
about that AFC Championship game, though? I mean, AFC Championship game, NFC Championship game, both were great. I mean, those were awesome to watch.
I mean, both overtime.
Both
first
OT,
time ever.
yeah. I mean, but for me, both the teams that I wanted to go there didn't end up going. I wanted to see Drew Brees v. Pat Mahomes, but listen, Super Bowl's a Super Bowl. It's all right.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Seeing Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl would have been a privilege.
I mean, he'll be there next year and the year after that, for sure.
For sure. I mean,
yeah, I think.
So go ahead, Peppy.
I think we always talk about the Patriots offense. I mean, rightfully so. But I think going back to Jason McCourty and the interception by Gilmore to basically seal the deal for the Patriots. I don't think we give the Patriots defense enough credit for that. I mean, that was granted, Goff really did not play that well, but they do step up in big moments like that. Just as much as the Patriots.
For
offense,
me,
I mean, go ahead, Alex.
For me, I gotta give a real whooping to Sean McVay. I mean, puts up 31 points a game in the regular season. Comes to Super Bowl, puts up 3. Listen, I know Brian Flores did a great job. All right, I know his schemes are incredible, but throw a short pass. All right, your run game
Yeah,
with
I
C.J.
agree.
Anderson and Todd Gurley isn't working. You can't throw a deep ball, and that's what they continue to go back to the entire game. Throw a bootleg, throw a screen, throw a slant, throw something short. All right, get your guys going, get a first down. I mean, they had more punts in that game than they did first downs. That's unacceptable for Sean McVay. Listen, I know Bill
Yeah,
Belichick's been there. All right, he's been there many times. What is it, 9 times? But Sean
yeah,
McVay, I mean, he's got to be better than that. That was pathetic.
I agree.
Yeah, I wanted to see more of those play action throws that worked so well in the NFC Championship. I definitely want to see a lot more of those, and we just didn't. They
Yeah.
just never got that offense, going.
Well, see, the thing that the
for them.
Rams do, the Rams are so successful all season because Sean McVay is a master at pre-snap reads. He sends guys in motion, tight motions that give away what the defense is in. So, they send a motion, and a Patriots player follows his guy across the line, and the Rams are like, all right, it's man coverage. And then the Patriots, what they did, it was so genius. They would make a second play call. So after the motion, they would recall the play. So it totally fooled Jared Goff. He had never seen anything like it before. He would think that the Patriots are in man, and all of a sudden, the snap, they're in zone. So that's what really shut down Jared Goff. And you got to give that to the Patriots. That's genius game plan.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean that's just a testament, to the genius of Belichick and Flores and
Yeah.
yeah. for
Something
sure.
that no other team thought of, to stop the Rams, and it worked
Right.
amazingly.
Yeah,
Right.
I feel that.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on the Super Bowl, boys?
I'm out.
You're out. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So the trade deadline for the NBA, a lot of drama swirling around that. A lot of unhappy players. That's what the NBA is today. Just a bunch of drama. People don't really care about the games anymore.
I feel
It's just
that
drama.
absolutely.
So, yeah. Anything you guys
Definitely.
want to start off with about that?
Well, for me, the NBA is a joke right now. I mean, it's basically pickup
Yeah.
basketball. I mean, it's just pathetic. These guys don't need the money. I mean, they're getting paid way too much money as it is. But I mean, these guys just go join their friends on a super team in a place that's hot and shiny and nice, I mean, it
Totally
really, the competition is just not
Right.
there anymore.
Totally agree.
It makes me
Right.
sad. But, I mean, you look at a team like the Warriors, and it's pathetic. Players requesting
Yeah.
trades every
Right,
6
yeah.
months. That's not how
Yeah.
it used to be done.
And
Yeah.
when there's just so much drama and like people, I didn't hear one like storyline about an actual game in the last 2 weeks of the NBA with all this, all these stories swirling about Anthony Davis and all that, like, and LeBron and the Lakers. I didn't hear any storylines about the actual games, and that's, I don't know, that's just kind of sad to me. It feels like just a big reality show
Oh yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it makes sense though. For both sides, the league and to sort of allow this to keep going. And obviously for the players, they get what they want. But for the league, that drama that sort of it creates, it's drawing people in. Even though it draws a lot of negative, it draws people in.
Yeah, you're right
so,
about that for sure.
But how about that Anthony Davis stuff going on right now? I mean, do you guys think
Yeah.
that the Pelicans sabotaged the Lakers?
I think that the Pelicans made the biggest mistake that they could have, and not dealing him, because you have a team right now that is not going to make the playoffs, and even if they do, they're going to get bounced in the first round. And they get offered from the Lakers, like 4 picks, 4 young, extremely talented players, and they don't take it, and they end up with Anthony Davis for that rest of a half of a pointless season. Like, come on, how could you mess that up so badly instead of setting yourself up completely for the future? Like, I don't know. I don't think the Pelicans could have screwed up any more than they did, honestly.
Schaefer, I think you could be right. I think you could be wrong. I mean, waiting till the summer is either going to be a make or break for the Pelicans. I mean, really,
Yeah,
they
can
were
still
mad because
make
they
it
think
far,
Magic Johnson tampered with Anthony Davis, and they really got their revenge. I mean, they ruined the Lakers' dynamics. I mean, you look at the Lakers now; they're losing by 42 to the Victor Oladipo-less Pacers. It's pathetic.
Lost tonight to the 76ers.
But Yeah,
Yeah,
23.
76ers just blew him out of the
But
water.
to me,
You're right about that. You're right.
this whole
It's true.
trade with Brandon Ingram and Kyle Kuzma and the 2 first rounders, Kyle Kuzma can play. Absolutely. I mean, Lord knows he's had 39 points tonight. All right, but Brandon
Yeah.
Ingram, I mean, he sucks, man. I mean, he just sucks. There's no way around it.
That's fair.
I mean, people keep saying that he's going to be the next Kevin Durant. Why? Because he's skinny and looks weird? I mean, that's really the only reason that everybody thinks he's going to be the next Kevin Durant. He doesn't have the same type of skills.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a fadeaway like Kevin Durant. Can't drive to the bucket. Kevin Durant's strong. Brandon Ingram's not. I mean, he's a thin man. And, I mean, we saw him take that last possession against Boston and nearly blow the game for them.
Terrible possession. Terrible.
Yeah.
If Rondo doesn't make that shot, people are talking about how bad of a decision that was by Ingram. So Ingram's lucky that Rondo made that shot.
I mean, and I really don't think that anybody wants Brandon Ingram. Now, Kyle Kuzma and the 2 first rounders are a great trade. But I honestly think that the Pelicans are just pissed at the Lakers. And I got to say it. I kind of hate the Lakers too. I'm really happy that the Lakers are sucking right now. I'm really happy about it. But, I mean, this Anthony Davis, I mean, it really could be a good thing for the Pelicans. Wait until the summer, maybe getting Jason Tatum, a couple, 4 or 5 first rounders for him. I mean, because they need to go.
So wait, what's the point of them? They could still wait till the summer, but they could have still dealt Davis, and if they didn't get any players, just get a bunch of picks for him. Because that's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Instead of just letting him walk. But I do see what you're saying. Not taking the players because you want to, sign or maybe get Tatum this offseason. I do agree with you there in a way, but yeah, I mean, it is kind of funny how they screwed up the Lakers, and they did do a really good job with that, but the fact of the matter is they're still screwed right now, and they're still worse off than they could be.
I mean, potentially. I think they're still if they wait till the summer, there's still a chance, they can change that.
Quick questions for you guys. What's with Anthony Davis wanting to go to New York? The Knicks.
I don't know. What's with anyone wanting to go to New York?
New York sucks.
Why would anyone want to go there?
No, I mean, I would rather have him go there than Los Angeles. But, I mean, because these poor Knicks fans are just... The Knicks are perpetually bad.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, when you let New York be good, then they're the worst.
I mean,
they're the worst. It's awful. So I'm
listen, so many mistakes. Frank Ntilikina.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
instead of
awful.
Dennis Smith, they got him now, obviously, but yeah.
Right.
Seriously though, and it's the same thing with Los Angeles. Every time that there's a big free agent or player in question for a trade, those two fan bases go so crazy. Like, you saw it with Paul George over the summer with Los Angeles. Every single Lakers fan thought they were getting him, and then who do they end up with? Like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, like every single time.
I mean, there's these big name cities that obviously attract free agents. But here's my question: what's with the Knicks trading Kristaps Porzingis 4 hours after he requested a trade?
Yeah, that's a mystery.
I think there was already some friction, I guess, between the front office and Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah.
If I'm the Pelicans, or if I'm the Knicks, I'm trying to trade Kristaps Porzingis for Anthony Davis. Right?
I would too, honestly.
I mean, I would have done that. I would trade him, maybe straight up, throw in a couple first rounders. Because, I mean, a pick really isn't... aside from the top 5 picks, you're not going to get a good player. I mean, maybe if you're lucky, but I mean...
If you're lucky with,
like
Giannis or
Kuzma.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, but I mean, that draft,
but...
the Browns or the Cavs drafted Anthony Bennett. All right? So, I mean,
yeah.
it was an awful an awful draft. So,
yeah. No, you're right.
But, I mean, look at it now. I mean, Colin Sexton's a good player. Maybe he could be very good. But, I mean, he's the 8th overall pick, and he really isn't that good. I mean, he's not a game changer, all right?
I mean, he's putting up numbers, but it's on the worst.
I mean, tops, he's, what, Elfrid Payton? I mean, come on.
maybe a little
Yeah,
bit
probably
better
better
than
than
that, but
Elfrid Payton,
yeah,
but still.
no, you're right. It's not a guy you're gonna build
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
But I do want to mention Mavs now. What do you guys think about their situation? They now have two of the greatest young players with the most potential in the league.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think the Mavs are pretty set up, or pretty well set up for being able to build another championship team in the future. I mean, with Kristaps and Luka as sort of the cornerstones of that, and having Dirk as somebody to basically mentor. I mean, the comparisons between Dirk and Kristaps are
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot, and just getting their two cornerstones for the future. I mean,
I could see this. I could see this being the next maybe not as good as Kobe and Shaq, but I could see them being winning a championship in the future.
I feel that.
At least one.
I mean, right now, the Warriors control the league. Maybe they'll probably control the league for the next 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So these older guys out there,
this year.
But I mean, Luka and Kristaps could be really good. Now, New York did give up a pretty penny, or rather, the Mavericks gave up pretty penny for Kristaps Porzingis. Dennis Smith Jr., two first rounders, DeAndre Jordan for a player who signed for 1 year. I mean, he's already said he plans on doing his qualifying offer this season. So
yeah.
Right. I heard that he did that, but then I don't remember exactly. I think he took it back a bit. I want to say he said he's considering it instead of
I mean, he's probably doing that because he's been injured for the last season. He wants to ball out, and prove that he's a contract player worthy of a $200 million plus contract. That's probably why he's doing it.
Right.
So, but I mean, listen, Kristaps Porzingis is a risk. He's 7 feet tall and he's gotten injured. I mean, for a year, he's been out for a year, and a year and a half really. And guys who are 7 foot, when they get injured, I mean, it's dangerous. Fast forward or rewind 10 years ago, Yao Ming, you remember him? I mean, he
that's true.
Put up 19 and 10 and 2 blocks a game. He got a foot injury or something. Next year it was 10.6 boards a game. Retired next season.
Yeah. Longevity of really tall players is definitely a concern in the NBA.
But
for sure.
In the East right now, Milwaukee, Toronto, and the 76ers.
Toronto wins as well. Let me say.
My goodness.
Marc Gasol. That's a great trade.
Marc Gasol, that was a good pick.
That's one that I don't think a lot of people are talking about that really, but Marc Gasol over Valanciunas is a huge upgrade.
Yeah, I mean they gave up Valanciunas and CJ Miles.
Didn't they already give up didn't they give up Anunoby too, or am I imagining?
Yeah, they kept or Anunoby, whatever.
Yeah, they kept all their young talent, and they've got that was a
listen. I mean,
good trade.
Marc Gasol's probably got a bad contract, but it all depends on Kawhi anyway. So go all out, really. I mean, try winning a championship this year.
And they're gonna try and win.
Yeah,
they're gonna try and win.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, this is their chance right
here.
So
I mean, 76ers too. Tobias Harris, they got the big four going on now.
Oh,
yeah.
Even if Jimmy Butler leaves, they still got Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid along with JJ Redick.
And they've got a good bench now too. They got a much deeper bench. Jonathan Simmons. They have I forget who else they got.
Yeah.
They got a few guys,
they got NS too. But they gave up a pretty penny for Tobias Harris. I think it was 2 first rounders, Landry Shamet. Wow, I was really surprised when I heard that. Tobias Harris is an 18-point per game player. But, I mean, gave up a young rookie, and Landry Shamet had 17 points the other night in his debut for the Los Angeles Clippers. And you gave up 2 first-rounders as well. But, I mean, whatever you can do to win a championship.
I think it was a good decision by them because that starting 5 now is, up there for the best in the league because Tobias Harris is,
they're
really
wicked,
underrated, in my opinion.
Yeah, same with Milwaukee, too.
Yeah.
I mean, Nikola Mirotic's in 19-point-plus player per game.
Yeah. Okay, can I say last year when the Pelicans, when Cousins went down, they traded for Mirotic, however you say his name. They played better with Mirotic at center than they did with Cousins. He's not a superstar like Cousins, but he plays efficiently and he does what the team needs him to do. So that's a solid pickup.
I can see him potentially being a 6th man of the year because I don't think they're going to start him. I think they're going to start Lopez. He's not a center; he's more of a power forward, wing type player. So, I mean, they're
Yeah.
not going to start him. They're going to bring him off the bench, and that'll be absolutely beneficial with them. Not only do they have Brook Lopez who's shooting threes now, but, I mean, you've also got
Yeah.
Ersan Ilyasova and now Nikola Mirotic off the bench. So, I mean, you've got
And they
three
got
guys
George
who
Hill,
are
too, from the
lethal
Cavs.
from downtown.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Do they have any other shooters? I can't think.
I mean, Malcolm Brogdon can shoot.
Chris Middleton.
Oh, Chris Middleton.
Yeah, same with Chris Middleton.
I forgot about it. He's an all-star.
Yeah, Chris Middleton. Yeah, I mean, the East isn't that stacked, so.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So, biggest winners of the trade deadline then? We can close out that topic.
I think the Raptors were a big winner. I mean, it was not a big blockbuster deal like as much as some of the other ones, but they definitely got a lot for that trade. I mean that's the one I'd say.
For me, probably the Lakers. No, I'm just kidding. Probably it's got to be the Milwaukee Bucks. They gave up nothing for maybe Toronto. It's close between those two. I mean, they gave up nothing for Marc Gasol. They gave up nothing for Nikola Mirotic. They got two guys who are pretty damn good. So
yeah. I'm surprised that the Nuggets didn't make any moves because they're sitting second in the West, and if they want to make a push for the finals, I think that they need more weapons than what they have.
I don't know. I mean,
one other weapon.
I'm not really surprised they didn't make any moves. Listen, they don't have any real all-stars. Maybe Nikola Jokic. But you look at this team, Gary Harris, 18 points a game. Will Barton, 15 points a game. Jamal Murray, 18 points a game. They've got a consistent 15-point-plus players per game over the floor.
That's true.
And what they have right now is a young core, and they're all working. They're all getting better. For me, I understand why they didn't make a trade.
Well, they also have Isaiah Thomas coming back.
Same with Michael Porter Jr.
Is he? Will he be back by then?
I don't know, man.
Okay.
I don't know.
Also, huge loser is the Cavs for not finding a way to trade any of our dead weight right now.
J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson. In fact, they acquired more
Kevin
dead
Love.
weight in Brandon Knight and Marquise Chris.
Yeah, good job, Cavs. You really set yourself up for the
Can we
future
take
there.
a moment of silence for Wade Baldwin and Nick Stauskas, please?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, getting traded
team for
3
like 5
times
minutes.
in 2 days.
Traded,
and then getting
traded,
cut.
then cut.
I mean,
wait, guys, I have an important announcement. The Cavs are 14th in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks have overtaken last
son
place.
of a gun. Man. Bro, I want
Let's
Zion.
go.
If we don't get
Cleveland
Zion,
for
I'm
the
going to
win.
be PO'd. But right now, I think that,
honestly.
don't the top 3 worst teams have the same chance for getting the first pick?
Yeah.
It's
roughly,
So we'll have to get some luck right there.
Bro, what's with the Phoenix Suns?
I don't know.
You'd think they'd be. I
feel
mean, you
like they're
got
set up for
Alfred
the
Payton at
future,
point.
but-
All right, he's not great. Devin Booker, T.J. Warren, some stiff at power forward, and then DeAndre Ayton at center. So I would think that they would be better.
Alfred Payton is good for that team too because he's like a Lonzo Ball kind of player, like a playmaker, not really a scorer.
Let's not forget Dragon Bender too.
I think the Suns are just like the Browns or not the Browns anymore, but the Padres of basketball. They're eternally doomed to
I mean,
sucking.
Them and the Knicks are just perpetually bad, and I think that they will always be bad.
It's like the black hole of just being bad. Like they have Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. It looks like a big future, and they're just not taking advantage of it from the looks of
Everybody's saying the next Kobe and Shaq. Honestly, for me, Devin Booker's the next player who requests a trade.
Yeah, you might be right, honestly.
I mean, I would not blame him.
I mean, they suck.
But
I mean, Devin Booker's getting like $200 million. So here's what pisses me off. All right, the league is forcing the Pelicans to play Anthony Davis.
Oh, I mean, why aren't they doing that to the Cavs with J.R. Smith? I mean, he's healthy.
No, it's like
I don't know
why the Pelicans have a contract with Anthony Davis. All right, they right now control what he does. All right, he's their player for them. All right, the coach should be able to tell them whether he's playing or not. I mean, that's not the league's decision.
In my opinion, I'm sitting him on his
Right.
ass for the entire game. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree. I mean, yeah, you have a guy who has bad attitude. You don't want
yeah,
him on the court affecting the
let him
morale.
rot for
I
a year,
mean,
really.
yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
but
I mean,
if they're
it
making
just
me play
affects the
him,
morale.
my pop said, play him for the entire game, play him all 48 minutes, till he passes
Yeah.
out. Yeah,
Yeah, make him do a Wilt Chamberlain out
sure,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, Cavs. I don't know. I would have liked to see them try to make a deal for Kevin Love. One that I was thinking was just straight up Kevin
Oh
Love
yeah,
for Michael Porter Jr. And I think the Nuggets might have considered it because they want to win now, and Porter Jr. isn't proven, but he has the potential to be good. And I think that's what the Cavs need is guys that they can get for cheap.
But Kevin Love is fat and slow.
listen,
and
I
old.
love
true.
Kevin Love because he's loyal, he's handsome, good-looking
Yeah.
fella, but he sucks.
But he
Won a
sucks.
championship with us.
Listen,
but yeah.
I mean, he's okay when he's on the
He
court.
put up
Okay,
like 4
he's
points a
okay
game
when
in
he's
the
on the court,
finals.
but he's not ever on the
He
court.
sucks in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Every single year he's got
That's
a new
true, yeah,
thing.
that's true.
This time it's a big toe injury. He misses
Yeah,
50 games.
seriously.
People ask me why I hate Kevin Love. He misses 50 games with a big toe injury, then comes back and plays for 6 minutes. I mean, how much am I
was
paying
this
this
guy
kid?
an All-Star last year?
We're paying this guy
How was he an All-Star
$30
last
million
year?
a year. This is
I,
ridiculous.
okay, from the moment we signed him, I knew it was a terrible idea.
Oh, yeah.
Why would the Cavs, who are obviously have all the traits of a team that should tank, boom, 4 million, or I mean 4 years, like 30 million to a guy who's like 32, past his prime, slow, never taken a team
Well, that's
to the
why I don't
playoffs on
think
his own.
That's why I don't think any team would
Yeah.
want to trade.
I
him.
don't think
Yeah,
I don't
that
think
was the
anybody
biggest
wants him.
mistake.
Like
Yeah, honestly, I mean that was the biggest mistake in the first place was just signing that deal. And I love Kevin Love. Like, he wins a championship with us. He's a really nice guy. You know, everyone respects him, but we screwed ourselves over with
Oh,
that.
man. I know. You didn't think it would be a good trade in the signing at the beginning. I mean, 4 years. He's going to be 36 years old, and he's going to be making $30
Yeah.
million. That's ridiculous.
Honestly,
He was never worth $30 million.
oh, completely agree.
I
I mean, maybe in his Timberwolves
Maybe.
days, but even then, they
yeah,
never
and
went
the
to the
Timberwolves,
playoffs.
not ever on the Cavs.
But they still
Right.
never even went to the playoffs with the Timberwolves. I mean, some of that wasn't his fault, but still,
Well, yeah, I mean,
Johnny Flynn not being
Right.
good,
yeah.
taking a pick ahead of Steph Curry.
How about Derrick Rose though on the Timberwolves?
Oh man, the goat.
yeah, well, he's the sixth man of the year. I didn't, you said Nikola Mirotic, but I don't think there's any way with Derrick Rose. the
Oh no
season
way!
he's having.
I mean, I think Nikola was starting over there in New Orleans. I was just talking about if he's
Yeah.
with the
Right,
Bucks,
yeah.
he might be sixth man, maybe next year.
Yeah.
But,
Right,
no.
right.
D Rose, I was disappointed he wasn't an All Star this year. I mean, what the hell is with this new thing with Dirk Nowitzki and Dwayne Wade being an All Star? They added a spot.
Yeah, honestly.
That's something that you do for handicap kids. That's not something that you do for Hall of Famers. For me, I
No,
would be
yeah.
ashamed.
It's too like I don't know. Like it's just like, we know it's their last year and it's all cool and everything that they've done for the league, but like we don't need this huge send off for like guys like
Listen,
that. Like,
I love Dirk.
you make the All-Star
Yeah.
team.
I love Dirk.
Yeah, I do too. But you don't make the All-Star team unless you
Yeah.
deserve to make the All-Star team.
Listen, and I don't like Dwayne Wade, but I love Dirk. But I would never put him as an All-Star when he's putting up literally 4.4 points a game. I mean, like, and
I
that's
agree.
going to count on his resume when he goes to the Hall of Fame? No, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, seriously. I like to think of him right now as like
I mean,
the backup quarterback. He's not really doing anything, but he helps.
He's a mentor.
He helps the guys who
Right,
actually
yeah.
matter.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, he's not
Right,
married,
yeah.
doesn't have a family. He'll probably end up coaching over there in Dallas.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, should we move on?
All right, let's transition.
All right, so our next topic, we're going to be counting down our own personal list for the top 10 NFL players of all time. We're going to be debating it, just arguing against each other's lists. So we were doing the top 10, but really quick, I just wanted to throw in the 3 honorable mentions for me. Larry Fitzgerald, Deion Sanders, Drew Brees. All right, that's all I'm going to say. They deserve to be mentioned, but they're not on my list.
I feel that.
All right, so number 10.
Honorable mention for me.
Who wants to start us off?
Honorable mention for me is Brett Favre.
Oh, wait.
Brett Favre. Okay, fair. Yeah.
Oh, all right, yeah.
All right, so starting at 10, who wants to start us off?
Yeah. I guess I can. I don't know.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Wait, Peppy, were you going to say something about yours?
All right. No. I'm good. I'll jump right in.
All right, sweet.
All right, so number 10 for me is Johnny Unitas, Baltimore Colts at the time, quarterback. He was the elite field general quarterback, the elite quarterback of that era.
Yeah.
That was, a really good Colts team for a lot of years, and there's not much else to say. I mean,
yeah, he just barely missed my list.
He was the premier. He was the premier that sort of field general quarterback of that era.
Yeah,
so,
he really revolutionized the game. I kind of wish I put him on my list, but he was great, but just barely missed my cut. How about you, Alex?
For me, at number 10 is Ronnie Lott. You guys don't probably remember him. Neither do I. But he was a cornerback, and he was one hell of a player. Listen, I tried to include players from every position on this list. Maybe they weren't top 10 most valuable players. But, I mean, I wanted to include a cornerback. Ronnie Lott's my guy. He did an incredible job over with the 49ers. He deserved to be on the list.
Yeah.
All
right, for me, my number 10 is going to be Randy Moss. Some people might disagree of how high I put him up among receivers, but among like the top 15 receivers, his yards per catch average is the highest among all of them. Just a lot of talent. He's top 5 in receiving yards. Just a really solid player.
Yeah, I would be. I mean, I love Randy Moss as a player, but at the same time, I feel like I'm not sure if he's one of the the top. I mean, the number 2 receiver, because I know that he's the number 2.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and we all know who's number 1, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, for me, Larry Fitzgerald's better than Randy Moss. I know that's a stretch.
Yeah,
but I mean, listen, Randy Moss probably had more talent, but the consistency is on Larry Fitzgerald. I mean, this is the man who has come closest to defeating Father Time. I mean, he's 36 years old and he's still playing football. Put up 600 plus yards last year. He's second all time in receiving yards behind Jerry Rice, and I mean, he's a great consistent wide receiver. He's a great guy. And, I mean, he's absolutely loyal. That's something that I include in my top 10 players. When I look at and evaluate who's the best player, I look at the players who I would want on my team when I was starting a franchise. Randy Moss left.
Yeah.
All right? I mean, he went from team to team.
Right.
Okay? Now, he played spectacularly on every team that he went on. But, in my opinion, Larry Fitzgerald's better than Randy Moss.
And that's why I wanted to mention him. Is just because – how could you not love this guy? I mean, he's one of the nicest guys ever. He signs a 1-year contract with the worst team in the league when he could go anywhere else. Just the fan base loves him there. In the Super Bowl that they should have won, feel terrible that they didn't win it. 2 touchdowns, a touchdown that should have won the game. He hustles all the way down the field, almost tackles James Harrison before that pick six got to the end zone. He's a guy who just shows a ton of heart, and that's why I just wanted to mention.
I mean, that Super Bowl burns for me especially. I hate Pittsburgh. Bunch of jerks.
Yeah.
But, absolutely.
Yeah, it's so saddening that he didn't win a Super Bowl. But.
Same with Randy Moss. I mean, the closest we got to perfection. Now, I'm happy that Tom Brady didn't win number 7, but thanks, Eli Manning.
David Tyree has entered the chat. But so number 9, moving on.
Number 9 for me is Emmitt Smith, the all-time rushing yards leader, and the running back of that the Troy Aikman, Dallas Cowboys team of the 90s. Just one of the greatest running backs of all time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel that.
I mean, not much else
for
to
me
say
at
there.
number 9, John Unitas. Can't blame him.
All right, fair.
They revolutionized the game. Reason he's not higher for me is because, number 1, I didn't watch him play. Number 2, he played in an era, where guys didn't wear cups. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. All right, for me, number 9, I have Joe Montana.
Oof.
I think this guy, he was good, but I mean, he has Jerry Rice, best receiver of all time. I mean, but the guy wins 4 Super Bowls. Like, I don't know. I started with him higher on my list, but as I kept making it, I moved him down just a little bit because I thought there were guys who deserved it just a little bit more.
I was when I heard at number 9, I was surprised that he was that far down. He did win 4 Super Bowls, but lest we forget that the Bengals dude dropped his pass in the end zone. I mean, he was about to pick off Joe Montana and he dropped it. They would have won the game. They would have won the Super Bowl.
Granted,
but in the same token,
Super
Tom
Bowls
Brady's looked at as the best of all time because he's won 6 Super Bowls.
Trent Dilfer.
And 2 of those Super Bowls came down to the very nail. I mean, one with Malcolm Buckler picking it off at the 1-yard line. The other one where they beat the Falcons after coming back from down 25.
Well, that
2 Adam Vinatieri games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Joe Montana, he could be higher, but I don't know. I mean, you look at the weapons around him. I mean, don't get me wrong, one of the greatest players of all time. That's why he's number 9. But I don't know. May have padded his stats a little bit with those players.
Yeah, I feel that. But for me, honestly, my top 5 or my 5 through 10 could probably be rearranged anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
All
right.
So moving
we
on.
all covered number 9.
Yeah.
Moving on to number 8. I put Peyton Manning.
Mm-hmm.
Was the all-time passing yards leader. Still the all-time touchdown leader. And just a great overall quarterback. Really talented. Insane to watch. Like 2013 season, for example, that was amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean, he only had 1 Super Bowl, but
2.
Or wait, no, 2.
Yeah, 2 Super Bowls.
2. I forgot.
2 and 2.
I forgot about the second. Yeah, I forgot about the second. Right, but anyways,
yeah,
just all around talented, one of the most talented quarterbacks to play.
Yeah, I agree.
Coming in for me at number 8, Emmitt Smith. Just like Pappy said, all-time leader in rushing yards, spectacular player, consistent player. Played for the Cowboys, did a great job.
Number 8 for me, also Emmitt Smith. You guys both, nailed it. All-time regular season leader. Fantastic in the playoffs. Has a few Super Bowls to his name. Number 8. All right, down to number 7, Pappy.
I have Walter Payton on here.
Okay.
He's kind of probably a little bit low.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe a little bit low.
But I just put him. I mean, he's just one of the great all-time running backs. Just for, I mean, he doesn't have like the rushing yards. He's not the rushing yards leader or but he's just all around a great running back. For that Bears and team and
for me,
for sure.
Number 7, Peyton Manning. I mean, all of us, made it pretty close. Peyton Manning, all-time leader in passing yards. What he did over with the Colts was incredible, and then coming over and being able to do it again in Denver, that was very, very impressive. Second Super Bowl really didn't mean that much, but I mean, he was good enough, right? I mean, he played well enough to win.
Yeah.
So, and did he appear in 4? So, I mean, he's one of the goats. So,
so also number 7, I have Peyton Manning. When I think of this guy, I think one of the greatest, most talented quarterbacks of all time. But sometimes when it came to the playoffs, just couldn't get it done. I mean, that New Orleans Super Bowl probably could have been his if he didn't throw that pick 6 late. But the passing touchdowns, passing yards speak for themselves. One of the most talented quarterbacks
Definitely.
of all time. All right, number 6 are we on?
Yeah.
Yep. Number 6 for me is
Oof.
Lawrence Taylor. I think.
Yeah. Maybe a
Why-
bit low.
why oof?
Maybe a bit. I don't know.
I don't think
just
so.
for me, maybe a bit low.
I mean, I've.
Really?
I don't know.
Okay. Carry on.
There's still a lot of guys ahead of him.
Yeah.
But like that definitely. Okay. Anyways, Lawrence Taylor. Definitely the greatest defensive player of all time. I don't know if you could really argue that. I mean, the only defensive player to win MVP. He was the anchor of that Giants defense.
Yeah.
In the 1980s. I mean,
With the Super Bowl win.
Just an incredible, right? Super Bowl, all around, just incredible player.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you could really make a case for any other player to be the greatest defensive player of all time.
I agree.
So,
Number 6.
Yeah.
This one was close. For me, Barry Sanders.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Why? Too high,
Okay.
too low? To what?
I don't know. Maybe a bit low, but I don't know.
Wait, he's on your list, right?
I mean, I have him.
Yeah, he's on my list. He's on my list.
I mean, it's
He's on my
close
list,
for
yeah.
me. I'm trying to look at the value of the positions. It's just so hard to judge these things. Barry Sanders may be able to put him a little bit higher.
True.
Maybe if he played after he was 30, then he would be a little bit higher as well. But I don't think – did he ever win a Super
Yeah.
Bowl?
No,
he didn't
barely
win a
ever
Super
went to the
Bowl. No, he's on
playoffs.
the- No, he's on the Lions.
Didn't win a Super Bowl.
He's on the Lions. Of course
and-
he
He's
never
the
won.
Calvin Johnson of running backs.
Huh?
He's the
I mean,
Calvin
they both
Johnson of
play in
running
the
backs.
Lions.
Yeah, but
The
completely wasted talents.
Awful.
I mean, the
team.
Lions
Yeah.
are a place where players go to waste their careers. Calvin Johnson Jr.,
Amen.
Matthew
Yeah.
Stafford.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They're like the Knicks or
I mean,
the Pel-
Barry
or
Sanders
the
was-
Knicks or the shoot, who was it? Who's the crappy? Oh, the Suns. Yeah, Knicks or Suns. They're just
Yeah,
perpetually
the
bad.
Suns.
So
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, Barry Sanders.
Okay, so I just realized that I'm stupid and can't count, and I have 11 players on my list. So I'll just go ahead and say the next 2 for me, because I have 11. So for me, the next one is Reggie White. One of the greatest defensive players of all time. Not the greatest for me, but this is a guy who impacts the game every single snap that he's on. Always causing havoc up the middle when he's pass rushing. And yeah, I mean, complete anchor for the defense back in the day.
Yeah.
And then the next one for me was Walter Payton, just all around dominant running back. I mean, this guy just always, I don't know, what can you say? Like, you guys already covered it for him, but yeah.
I absolutely have to agree with Reggie White. He did not crack
Yeah.
my top 10, although he probably should have. Ronnie Lott.
Yeah, he didn't.
I mean, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah,
So
Same.
whatever. Reggie White.
And also, we never saw guys like that play because they were before our time.
Yeah.
So,
Hard.
but
Right.
I mean, that's just from what I've heard and the few highlights I've seen.
Absolutely.
So
No, he was definitely a beast. I mean, obviously I didn't see him play either, but
Number 5.
yeah,
So do we cover everybody on?
Yeah, number
versus
5.
Number 5. All right, number 5. I have Barry Sanders at number 5.
all right.
He was. I mean, he's an incredible player. Obviously I didn't see him play, but just to watch. I mean, his insane ability, his elusiveness was just. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like it.
Yeah.
He was just able. He was just able to. You think he was tackled and then he wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, he was insane. He was able to just an insane player to watch. If you've never seen Barry Sanders, just
Yeah.
highlights, just look it up. It's amazing.
Yeah, for
Guy's
sure.
insane. And I'm sure if he had not retired when he did, he would have had the.
But I mean,
all-time
you got to
rushing
give him
yards
credit for
record.
retiring
Oh,
that
definitely.
early. I mean, before his brain is mush. Just take a look at Jim Brown.
Yeah.
I mean,
That is true.
we all
that's
saw
true.
him in the Super Bowl
Yeah.
commercial. Barely can put words together.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
For me,
Yeah.
number 5, Joe Montana. This one's a tough one. Thought he was a little bit low, but I'm evaluating these guys at their respective positions, individual positions. And Joe Montana at quarterback isn't better than these other guys at their positions, receiver, running back, whatever it be. 4-time
Yeah.
Super Bowl champion, but wouldn't be that without, obviously Jerry Rice and then that one dude
David something who the catch.
Oh yeah, the catch.
What was his name?
You're right. Can't remember,
Yeah.
but I know exactly what player you're talking about. Was that NFC Championship?
Wait.
Or
I think it was Super Bowl.
was it Super Bowl?
Dwight.
Oh, Dwight Clark. Dwight
yeah,
Clark. Yeah. Yeah, Dwight Clark. No, yeah, you're right on about that.
He's really good. Everyone forgets him because of Jerry Rice, but he was really.
I mean,
good.
one of the biggest catches of all time.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Really.
Right.
Schaefer.
Alrighty, so I have to go with Lawrence Taylor. I mean, kind of the same explanation as Reggie White, but he's just better. This guy, greatest defensive player of all time. Any defense he's on is instantly made one of the best defenses in the league. Like, he can take up a couple linemen at one time, open holes for other people. Every single play he's in on, he's, causing chaos for the quarterback.
Yeah.
It's impossible to play at the top of your game when this guy is charging at you. So, yeah, that's my number 5. Greatest defensive player of all time.
I feel that.
All right, number 4.
Yeah. 4, I have Joe Montana, but after the discussion we've had, I'd probably think about maybe putting him lower on the list.
Yeah.
Not because he's not obviously good. He's obviously great, but
yeah.
I mean, yeah, he was very, very talented, and he won a lot. But that's sort of the whole joke. I made with Joe Flacco. I mean,
yeah,
winning is Super Bowls isn't everything, and I mean, you can be really great and not win any Super Bowls.
Yeah,
you can suck and win Super Bowls. So, and if you look at his stats, I mean, yeah, he had Jerry Rice. So that's I still think he's a great quarterback. I mean,
yeah,
for sure. So I mean, I don't know that one. I could go either way with lowering that. I don't know, but Joe Montana is my number 4.
My number 4 coming in, Jim Brown revolutionized the game. Looked at by some as the best player of all time. Probably exaggerated, but Jim Brown, obviously, he was part of those championships the Browns won in the '60s. Personal favorite of mine. Shout out to Dale Schilling. He was there and did watch Jim Brown when he was playing. Yes, Dale Schilling, ladies and gentlemen. 1965 season ticket holder. That year they went to the championship and lost.
Doug Fairchild
it
saw
was
him
Jim
play
Brown's
too.
final year that year. So.
Oh, really? Nice.
Doug Fairchild was a St. Louis Cardinals fan and watched them get destroyed by Jim Brown. He told us that.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean Rams, right?
Anyways. No, St. Louis Cardinals. There used to be the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh, wait, really? Oh, okay. Okay, so for me, number 4, this is going to be my favorite one probably, Barry Sanders. Pappy, you kind of covered this, but I think that this guy is the most talented running back of all time. I choose my words carefully because I have a running back ahead of him on this list. I know that sounds kind of stupid, but Barry Sanders, you watch his highlights, he's definitely the most talented running back of all time. This guy can avoid any defender, no matter how many defenders there are. It's just, he's so much fun to watch. He's probably the most fun player to watch in history, too. I mean, maybe that's a bit of a strong statement, but you never get bored when you're watching this guy running. And if he was on a team that's not the Lions, just any team that can use talent and build around it, then this guy, and if he played longer too, like you guys said, this guy is going down with Super Bowls on Super Bowls. Yeah, I mean, how can you not love Barry Sanders? All right.
Number 3, I have, in my opinion, Barry Sanders is up there, but in my opinion, the greatest running back of all time, in Jim Brown. In an era where offenses were built around the run and defenses were built specifically to stop the run, this guy completely dominated every defense. He could literally run over guys on the defense.
Yeah.
He was just incredible.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's true. That's a good point, actually.
I mean, for him to dominate is, so much in that era is just, if you think about it, it's insane. So he makes number 3 on my list and the best running back of all time.
For me.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
For me, number 3, Jerry Rice. I mean, all-time receiver. Jerry Rice, if you look at him,
you look at his stats. He did not have that many 1,000 receiving yard seasons. He did not have that many 1,500 receiving yards like we do, like we look at today with DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, what have you. But what made him so valuable was his consistency. I mean, he was able to put up these numbers for I think 17 years or something like that. He was a tight end, and he could just do it consistently. I mean, if we talked about Father Time being undefeated or being defeated, Jerry Rice defeated Father Time. It was incredible. Yeah. 4-time Super Bowl champ under Bill Walsh. Incredible.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was just looking at him earlier, and he had a Pro Bowl when he was 40 years old.
Man.
This man made the Pro Bowl as a 40-year-old on the Raiders.
I mean, and this is football.
Not
this
one of those,
I
mean,
we're not talking about Vince Carter here. I mean,
not one of those freebie All-Star games that Dirk gets for.
Yeah, like just think about a receiver today being 40 years old and going to the Pro Bowl. Like,
I mean, he wasn't that fast. He wasn't that
right.
nothing. But he just had an incredible ability to get open. It's amazing.
Yeah, insane. But I have him at number 3 as well. Greatest receiver of all time, no doubt about it. Like, blows away everyone else in postseason receiving yards, regular season receiving yards. That guy, I mean.
So you guys both have him at 3.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Wait, what do you think? We should have him higher, or wait? Have you mentioned him yet?
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
No, I have not.
Okay, all right then.
So
moving on.
by my number 2, I guess you'll see my number 1 because number 2 is Tom Brady.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow.
This was a close one. I'll admit this was a close one.
Okay.
But Tom Brady, and I for the longest time did have Tom Brady at my number 1. I switched it around, but Tom Brady, I mean, I don't think people hate him because he's won so much, but you can't argue that this guy isn't like the greatest quarterback. You put him on the field in a game-winning scenario, and 9 times out of 10, he slices up the defense like butter, and he just marches down the field, and
disrespectful.
Just wins.
Yeah.
He'll find a way to win the game.
Disrespectful, Pappy.
You know those like Instagram videos? What do you mean?
Who's your number 1?
Well, Jerry Rice, obviously.
Jerry Rice.
Brother, Jerry Rice cannot be compared to Tom Brady. Tom Brady was just better.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk about that in a minute. So Tom Brady, hold up. Let me finish what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, right? So you put him in that game-winning scenario, he's gonna win 9 times out of 10. Those Instagram videos, like the guys like the mocking him, like, oh, look at that, he completes a screen pass. That's so hard. I don't know, but it's the fact that he does it all the time when in a game-winning scenario. His entire career, he's just, I think, one of the biggest clutch performers of all time.
Yeah.
Either him or Michael Jordan, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, that. For me, number 2,
Aaron Rodgers is up there too. Not gonna lie.
Is not TB12. It's Lawrence Taylor. Defense.
Oh wait, wow! I didn't even realize.
And honestly, you look at a guy like Khalil Mack, for example, or Aaron Donald. These guys are huge. They're incredible. Khalil Mack is awesome. Same with Aaron Donald, but they can still be on the defense, and that defense, such as the Raiders did, can underperform and play badly. If you put Lawrence Taylor on that team, that defense will at worst be average. Best defensive player of all time. You look at his statistics, all right? Now, his best season included 20.5 sacks, all right, 132.5 sacks over the course of his career. Now, listen, I mean, he didn't have that many double-digit sack seasons. Reggie White had more. But there are just some guys who have a knack for defense.
Well, because Reggie White's a lineman.
Yeah, true.
And
who?
LT's a linebacker. But
wait, wasn't LT
Reggie White's a defensive.
Yeah, he was
LT's
a
linebacker.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah,
So that's why he doesn't
still,
have
I
as many
mean,
sacks.
I thought he was a
even
defensive end.
even Ray Lewis.
Right.
I mean, there's guys who have stats that aren't that great, but everybody knows that Lawrence Taylor is the best defensive player of all time. It's not even a question.
Right.
I mean, that guy could literally
Yeah.
win
Oh, yeah.
games on his own. Like, yeah. I mean, yeah, can't say much more. For me, number 2, Jim Brown. And so the reason I have him ahead of Barry Sanders, even after all I said about Barry Sanders, is that Jim Brown, um, I mean, he was like he just dominated. Like Barry Sanders had a ton of talent, and he made plays like really fun to watch. But Jim Brown just like dominated the games, and he may have been playing players that weren't as good, but Pappy, like you said, he was playing in a time where defenses are built to stop the run, which is just all the more impressive.
Right.
Like, yeah,
Unstoppable.
Jim Brown just incredibly dominant.
Right.
Yeah. All right,
But just
so
to
down
clarify,
to-
Jim Brown did beat his
Oh, okay.
wife after his career. We do not condone that
Oh,
in
he
any
did.
way.
I did not know
Yes.
that.
Bro, these running backs.
I didn't know that
These
either.
are the guys.
Yeah, what
who
is
have
it with the
domestic
running
violence.
backs?
Joe Mixon,
What is it with
O.J.
the running
Simpson.
backs?
They get hit in the
Yeah.
head, and they
Ray
don't
Rice.
think.
Well,
straight.
Kareem Hunt, it's his second
I'm-
season.
all these dudes, man.
He's not.
Jim Brown.
Yeah.
Man, Kareem Hunt.
Still, it's his second season, but he played college. I mean, you get hit in the head enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
Still.
Wait, who else besides the
Um,
other 3 that I'm thinking of have done that? Ray Rice.
Adrian
Adrian
Peterson,
Peterson.
Joe
Oh, Adrian
Mixon,
Peterson, yeah.
Ezekiel
Ray Rice.
Elliott,
Wait, Joe Mixon too? Oh, Ezekiel
Kareem
Elliott.
Hunt.
I didn't know Joe Mixon had that done.
Shoot. It's so many of them, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just
Man, that's true.
Yeah.
Dang.
Other guys get hit
All
in
right.
the head, though,
I
and don't beat
honestly
their
think it
wives.
has to do with.
What's with running backs?
But they get hit in the head the most.
Yeah.
I mean, every single play, they're getting hit in
Yeah,
the
I
head.
get it.
Yeah. I mean, they touch the ball the most out of like
Still jerks, though.
players that get
Still
tackled
wrong.
when they touch the ball. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. Anyways, so we're talking about number 1 for me. Obviously, that caused a lot of backlash from you two. Jerry Rice. And like I said, this was a close one. This was a close one between Jerry Rice and Tom Brady. But I mean, Jerry Rice compared to every other wide receiver, there's some great wide receivers. We talked about. But I mean, Jerry Rice is just so far ahead of everybody else, and his, like you said, Salem, his consistency, his just overall talent to be able to play, into to be 40 and play, and just his ability was just
Yeah.
it was just so much better than anybody else who's ever
Yeah.
played wide receiver.
I don't know that you can put a wide receiver at number 1 though, no
Yeah.
matter like. I mean, he was insanely good, but I still don't know if you could put a wide receiver at
Number 1 for me
because
is TB12, and it's not a question, and I'll tell you why. First of
Yeah.
all, your number 1 guy has to be a quarterback. Okay, there's no doubt that the quarterback is the most valuable position on
Completely
the
agree.
football field. Look at the Cleveland Browns, for example. Baker Mayfield comes in to an 0-16 team with no talent, and immediately Cleveland Browns go 7-8-1. All right, if you have a quarterback, you have a football team. If you don't, you don't. Okay, even Jerry Rice, without Joe Montana, will he still be one hell of a receiver? Absolutely. But just like Calvin Johnson Jr., he doesn't win nothing. TB12 leads the Patriots to
true.
the Super Bowl year after year. He is like LeBron, but even better. All right. You talk about Jerry Rice being in the Pro Bowl at age 40. Tom Brady last
Mhm.
week was in the Super Bowl
Tom
at age
Brady.
41 and will probably be in the Super Bowl at age 42.
To be fair though, I know I agree with you, but to be fair though, it's not as much of a
I feel that. I feel that.
athletically or physically
I'm just saying.
demanding
I mean,
the quarterback.
even though it's not as athletic of a position, he's still more consistent than Jerry Rice because his position doesn't
Right.
require him to be, running around the field, all that stuff. But he is still more consistent than Jerry Rice. 6 Super Bowls. I mean, and if that one dude doesn't make the helmet catch, it's 7. All right. I mean, every
Yeah.
Super Bowl he's
and if
played in,
Manningham doesn't make the one catch, it's
man,
8.
Man.
And if Brandon Graham doesn't get the strip
I mean,
sack,
but it
it's
is-
nice.
Yeah.
6 Super Bowls, man.
Yeah.
That record speaks for
crazy.
itself. Even last year, he was secured as the GOAT. And now, I mean, with number 6,
Yeah.
it's not even a question.
Yeah.
No, I definitely could flip
Yeah.
the top 2 on my list.
But so yeah,
So
my number
I'm
1.
assuming Schaefer, you have TB12.
Yeah, because okay, let me just say, this guy coming into this season, it's a perfect representation of his whole career. This guy, middle of the season, everyone's like, "Oh, Patriots, they'll make the playoffs. They're not going to do anything. It's a bad season for them. They're not gonna be able to win the Super Bowl this year." And coming out of college, bad combine. People say he's the least athletic player in the draft. Being drafted, even he's at Michigan, he's the backup. And then he comes in, he's behind Drew Bledsoe in the league. And that's the thing that always happens with Tom Brady. He finds a way. This guy, he finds a way no matter what is happening. His best wide receivers, Chris Hogan is a college lacrosse player. Julian Edelman is a converted quarterback. Rob Gronkowski's like a surprise tight end. I mean, Rob Gronkowski's good, but like out of the draft.
Aaron Hernandez.
And so, no, but Tom Brady always finds a way to win. And how can you not love like how competitive this guy is? He showed, he's exciting to watch the way that the passion that he has, and 6 Super Bowls. Never been done by a player before, so.
I think what I said about how he finds a way to win in the game is sort of indicative of his entire career. He's one of those guys who just has a drive to win and just to be the best at everything he does, and he's gonna find a way no matter what. He does that on that game-winning drive, and he's done it his entire career to go from a backup job at Michigan, to try and get the starting job in Michigan, to be drafted 199th overall, and to be the starting quarterback and the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
And probably
Rewind
the
a week,
greatest player of all
right?
time. I'll just say it.
When I was watching that game, and I know you guys felt the same way, it's 3-3, and time after time, Jared Goff is sucking, and everybody in America, all these 100 million plus viewers, knew that Tom Brady was going to score a touchdown at some time during that game.
Oh,
everybody
for sure.
knew it.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that Tom Brady's going to score a touchdown. All right, it wasn't even a question. Everybody knew that Tom Brady was going to score. And I mean,
well, right, like in a game-winning scenario, you should be if you're the fan of the other team, you should be scared. All right, when I was watching the Super Bowl last year as an Eagles fan, I was scared out of my mind. I was so happy when Brandon Graham got the strip sack, because 9 times out of 10 he's gonna win. That game, no matter what.
I mean, kudos to Nick Foles, but I mean, TB12 is he's just incredible.
I mean, this guy, like, you knew it when he comes out against the Rams. He's still not proven. He's playing one of the greatest offenses in history in the Rams, and people are like, they still don't really know who this guy is. He comes out, minute and a half left, drives down the field, makes the passes when he needs to. He just cuts apart defenses, and he just comes alive even more so when it matters. And you watch the clip of him on the sideline when Malcolm Butler made the interception, and he's just going crazy. Like, that's the kind of thing that you like. He just loves, like, he's so competitive, and he doesn't care how people see him react when he does something.
I don't like
good.
Tom Brady,
I don't know.
but it's not because he's a dick. It's not because whatever. I mean, it's not because he beats his wife. It's because he's won 6 Super Bowls. Okay, and I'm annoyed by that.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing him in the Super Bowl every year. Does that take away from any of these 6 Super Bowls? Absolutely not.
I disagree. I love Tom Brady. I'm sorry. I don't like the Patriots, but I love Tom Brady. He's one of my favorite players of all time. Like I mentioned, his competitiveness and his ability to find a way when you're the underdog. I mean, against the Falcons, we didn't even mention that. The fact that we didn't even mention a 25-point comeback in the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
He just
right.
Yeah, like, I just don't know how you couldn't love a guy who is just like Tom Brady. But yeah, that's my number one.
All right,
gentlemen.
So,
thank you for having me.
Anything else we want to talk about before? Oh yeah, no, that was awesome.
Hope to be here.
That was a great time. Oh, for sure, you made it way better. So
definitely have you back on.
Yeah. That was a ton of fun.
That was a great podcast. All the viewers, thanks for watching. Stick around for next week's episode. We're gonna be talking about spring training preview for baseball, and probably the NFL draft preview, most likely, as well as probably a few other topics. So stick around for that, and we'll catch you.
Also, probably we'll do what we just did, but for the NBA. Just wanted to say, because we kind of like this format, but
that too. Yes.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely the NFL, that was definitely good.
All right.
The top 10s. So.
All right.
And we're out.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.
See you guys.